Hello folks, my name is Mark. This is Why I Hate the World. How you guys doing? And this is things I do not care about for August 2016. So let's jump right into it. Number one, Kanye versus Taylor Swift. I just do not care at all. Has something to do with he made some lyrics in a song about having sex with her and then got permission, and then she said he didn't, and then he actually had it like on tape, you know, he like recorded the video that he actually did ask her, and it's like, do I give a shit about this? No, not at all, in the slightest. If Kanye and Taylor Swift were to both die in a plane crash tomorrow, it would not change my life at all. In fact, I probably would not even like care. In fact, I don't even think I could name a song that either of those people have done. I just don't give a shit. Of course, the big news last month was the Republican and Democratic national conventions. So let's just jump right into those. The RNC was a total fucking dumpster fire, if you guys weren't paying attention. Let's see. Outside there was a billboard that had Trump and Cruz kissing. That was put up by an LGBTQ rights group or whatever. I thought that was funny. Cruz didn't endorse Donald Trump in his speech, and a total shitstorm fucking ensued from that. People went crazy, started booing him and all that. You know, because traditionally, like, whenever a runner-up is supposed to endorse the candidate, you know. Not only that, but they actually had this pledge last year. It's like, it's almost like they knew that this was going to happen. But if you remember, like, last year, there was a pledge by the GOP that each candidate signed, saying that they would, you know, endorse whoever wins, right? Almost like they knew that, you know, someone wasn't going to do it. So anyway, that's pretty much ruined, you know, Ted Cruz's chances of ever being president ever again. And actually, I'd be surprised if he gets any help from the GOP at all for anything for the rest of his life. I mean, he pretty much just burned every single bridge that he had. Apparently, everybody in the Senate really fucking hates Ted Cruz to begin with. So maybe he'll, like, you know, retire and just go open a church somewhere. Fuck Ted Cruz. Anyway, but the big news out of the RNC was that Trump's wife, Melania Trump, plagiarized First Lady Michelle Obama in her speech, which was just fucking ridiculous. See, I mean, the thing is, you would think that they would hire somebody to make sure that, you know, you're not doing that. I mean, if you're gonna, I can understand, like, if you mistakenly plagiarize someone, but, you know, the sitting First Lady, like, are you fucking serious? Like, and I guess this kind of just puts to rest the myth that, that Trump is hiring good people. You know, that's one thing that he says, like, I hire the best people or whatever. So, because that's like a, you know, something he says when a lot of people go, well, you don't have any experience in government and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And he goes, well, I hire good people and they'll advise me. It's like, well, apparently you didn't, you know, your hiring skills aren't good enough to get someone who fucking knows how to write a speech without plagiarizing it. Unfucking real, dude. You know, and I'm not gonna go back and forth about, you know, who really wrote it and all that other shit. The fact is that somebody should have caught that shit, you know. And the fact that they didn't have someone to find this kind of thing, you know, nobody just did a Google search on her goddamn speech. It's fucking ridiculous, and it just shows that they, you know, he has no clue how to fucking run anything. Anyway, that shit was hilarious. But, you know, anyway, so the RNC was all fucked up. But the DNC really wasn't that, you know, far behind him. It was pretty much, you know, burning dumpster also. The biggest news out of the DNC was that there was an email leak on WikiLeaks that showed that the DNC was colluding, right, to, you know, to get, basically they were conspiring to help out the Clinton campaign, right? And that led to, like, a major fucking, like, shakeup, and a lot of people got fired. And that led to Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was the head of the DNC, to stepping down, and she wasn't even allowed to talk at the convention, which is like, damn, that's some serious shit. So if people are like, you know, if a lot of Bernie supporters are out there are mad at the DNC, just, you know, you can see now that a little bit of payback has been enacted, and the people who are responsible for whatever slights you perceive are gone. You know, if you think, because there was a lot of news in the last few months about how, like, you know, Hillary cheated and stole the election, shit like that. I don't know if that kind of thing's true or not, but the people in the DNC who were, you know, biased towards Hillary have been, you know, given the boot. So that's good news, at least. You know, there's reform comes when you can take it, right? Ultimately, Bernie did endorse Hillary Clinton, and after getting concessions in the Democratic Party platform, right? You know, things like support for public option and universal health care and environmentalism, stuff like that. Now, whether that really matters or not, I don't really know, because, you know, Democratic politicians are not beholden to the party platform to begin with. It's more of like they're like guidelines, you know. But if a vote comes up and they don't vote according to the platform, it's not like they get fined or get kicked out or whatever. It doesn't actually hold any power over them. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I personally think it's like, you get what you can get, you know. I don't think it's actually going to do anything, but good for him. I mean, maybe it will. Maybe, you know, maybe that will actually lead to some beneficial change in the future. Also, some Bernie delegates staged a walkout in protest of all of the email leaks and shit like that. That got a little bit of news. And apparently Michelle Obama's speech nailed it, right? I didn't actually see most of it. I saw the snippets that they show on the news and stuff. But, you know, that's okay, because I'm sure that I'll see the entire thing again in 4 years at the next, you know, Republic National Convention. So, anyway, sorry, I can't get over that shit. I can't get over the fact that nobody fucking caught that. That's fucking a joke. Okay, let's move on to some other shit that happened. Milo Yiannopoulos got permabanned from Twitter. That was in the news, and good, you know, because fuck Milo Yiannopoulos. That guy's a fucking asshole, and I'm glad that he lost his platform, you know, because apparently he was harassing Leslie Jones, who was, if you don't know, she's in Ghostbusters, right? And you know, he was like harassing her and using like racist like tweets and shit like that, calling her a black man or whatever. Apparently he's really into black men, you know, that's his thing, because, you know, Milo Yiannopoulos is gay. He's actually, he's a gay person that's against, like, you know, gay rights, right? He's like a gay person who, like, is against gay marriage. I don't know how that shit works. Anyway, but apparently he was like calling her a black man, like, I've been turned down by another black man or whatever, because he's like really into black men or whatever, right? Stuff like that, and it's like, wow, dude, well, I don't know if that's exactly racist, but it's definitely sexist. And then, but it's not just him, you know, because he has, you know, legions of followers, so the minute he does it, all of his followers start doing it too, and like harassing her. So I could see why he got fucking banned, and it's really funny that he's like bitching and moaning about it, because, you know, in 2012, as I'm sure you've all heard, like, he wrote, a pretty long, you know, rant and article about how it's okay to ban people, like how it's okay to ban trolls and stuff because people troll him and whatever. So it's like, you know, just like every conservative, he can like dish it out, but he can't take it, you know, like he doesn't apply his own fucking morals and standards to himself. It's like, well, you know, maybe if you didn't troll this woman, your ass would still be on Twitter. So I got no fucking sympathy for that guy. That guy's a total fucking douchebag. Like, there was this thing a little while ago where he tweeted, you know, he was like fat shaming this guy at a gym, you know, like he tweeted over his shoulder, like there was like a dude on the fucking weight machine who was like pretty fucking big, you know, he had to be like 290, 300 pounds or something, you know, and he just fat shamed him. And then like when people called him out on it, he fucking said, well, fat shaming is not wrong, it's good. It's like, fuck you, man. You know, some guy goes like, yeah, because I know exactly how that is, okay? I mean, fuck, look at me, you know, fucking flub and shit, right? I know exactly how that feels, you know? You finally get the courage to go out into public and, like, try to, like, improve yourself. And some fucking asshole is making fun of you. It's like, you know, good. I'm glad they kicked him out. I don't know. That guy's just a dick, dude. Like, you know what he does? He's the internet version of Ann Coulter. That's what Milo Yiannopoulos does. He does shit like this on purpose, because he's like, you know, he makes money from pissing off liberals, you know, So he'll go and he'll do a speech at a college and say really, really inflammatory things, so that all the fucking social justice warriors in the crowd will get, triggered or whatever, and start going on rants and yelling at him, so that he can like take video of it and put it on the internet, so that all of his conservative followers can be like, see, look how crazy they are. He's an instigator, like Ann Coulter does the same kind of thing. Like she'll go on some talk show, say something really controversial so it gets her name in the news, and then she sells books. And that's what this fucking guy does, except he's like, the Peasley internet version of it. Right. It's a racket. It's bullshit, and he offers no actual, he offers nothing to the discourse. Basically his entire shtick is to like piss people off to make money. Fuck that guy. He's a dick, dude. And I'm glad that he can't be on Twitter anymore. Anyway, moving on. Let's end it with some more politics. Donald Trump is plummeting in the polls. Right. So after the convention, after the RNC, he got a bump, right? And he was in front of Hillary for like, a couple of days, right? For pretty much the first time ever in this entire like cycle, he was ahead. And then the DNC ended, Hillary got a bump, right? She got a larger bump than he did. She got a like 11-point bump. He got a 9-point bump, something like that. Right. But a lot of Hillary's bump came from Trump basically repeatedly sticking his foot in his mouth and fucking himself up. So the biggest story that's out there now is that he's feuding with a guy named Kazir, which, if you remember, was a guy, he was a speaker at the DNC who basically said, my son died, and he's a Muslim. And, his son was a hero who like saved people's lives and shit over in Iraq, and basically like Kazir Khan is saying, well, like if Trump was the president, me and my son wouldn't even be here, and he's an American hero, right? and if we had to like go with Trump's like immigration policy, he wouldn't even be allowed to go and come into the country, right? And instead of letting it go like an adult, or instead of just commenting and saying that's not true, whatever, blah blah blah, and giving an adult response, Trump cried like a little baby and has started this feud with them, and against they call them Godstar families, and those are families of soldiers who have died in combat, or whatever. And it's like, so that's majorly biting him in the ass. And I think maybe this is the first time that Trump can't get away from some bad news, because usually what'll happen is that he'll say something ridiculous, he'll say some shit, that's really crazy and out there, like, oh, just punch protesters in the face or whatever, and then the news just leaves it alone. And now I think finally they're like, people are just fucking like sick of this shit, and it's been like 3 or 4 days now, and the story refuses to die, and his numbers keep plummeting, so that's good. But he's done some other shit in the last couple of days too. He kicked out a baby out of one of his rallies, which was funny. Like he was talking at a rally, and he goes, "Oh, look at that cute baby. It's okay. I don't mind babies." And then 5 minutes later, he's like, "No, I'm kidding. Get that baby out of here." Like, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That was bad. He made some stupid comments about Crimea, which, if you don't know, Trump apparently has ties to Russia. Like, as in, he owes a lot of money to lots of Russian oligarchs over there, and so he's kind of taken like a pro-Russia stance in a lot of his, a lot of his positions, right? And there was this interview that he had, and where he said like, well, Putin's not going to go into Crimea. It's not going to happen. You can write that down. It's not going to happen. And then like the guy giving the interview goes, well, it already happened, right? And Trump basically got egg on his face, because it shows that he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And how the fuck could you not know that? I mean, that was like a major fucking thing about a year and a half ago. I mean, fuck, dude, how did you not know that Russia invaded, right, and took over that fucking region? How does he not know that? I don't understand. It's like he's just, how? Is there nobody there telling him these things? Does he not have advisors? I mean, does the guy not fucking watch the goddamn news? I don't understand. One other thing, so apparently somebody in the Trump campaign leaked some nude pictures of Trump's wife, which admittedly she's pretty hot, back in the 90s. And they think that it was done to detract from the Kazir Khan story. Like, basically they wanted to get this in the news so that people would stop talking about that. And it didn't work, which is good, so ha ha ha. But basically there are questions now whether or not her name is Melina, like whether Melina was in the country legally and was legally allowed to work when these photos were taken. So I think that shit's hilarious. So basically he leaks these photos to take the pressure off of some other shit, right? And he just made it all worse. And now they're going, oh, well, your fucking wife was an illegal alien, right? Who was stealing American jobs. It's just so fucking ridiculous. It's the most, oh my god. I'm loving this shit. And I'm like, that it's finally happening. Good. After a year of, you know, everybody saying what a crazy fucking maniac this person is. After a year of, like, you know, all these fucking people just like, and he's just said like one bad thing after another, one crazy fucking thing after another, and nobody cared. Now it's finally falling apart. It's like, good. I'm glad it's happening, because it means that, you know, it means we'll have a Democratic president. Oh my god, this shit's just hilarious. Anyway, so I think that's it for me, folks. Adios.